Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Thursday evening episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host Ted. And today on the show we've got a guest that we haven't seen in a while, and I think for the first time on your own actually as a guest at least.
Yeah, I think so. I've been with Owen, with Imogen and Owen, but I don't think I've ever done it on my own.
Well, I think that is the case. So yeah, this is obviously Alice, who you guys will have seen in a few episodes before. So you haven't been in a while, so for any of the newer viewers, why don't you just give a quick introduction to yourself and what kind of general taste in alcohol are?
Good idea. Okay, so I'm Alice. I'm actually not a big drinker. If I do drink, it tends to be with a meal. So like a glass of red wine with a meal, some pasta or something. If I am out at the pub, I'm quite basic, either a glass of wine or a vodka cranberry juice. If I am at home, it would be a glass of wine. I'm very much a wine person.
Yeah, no, and I did buy you a bottle of wine from the off-licence to have with dinner when we order it in a bit. And then, yeah, so you've been on a few episodes. I think the mean average of the rating of drinks in the episodes that you've been on have been pretty low. I think it's always either been a case of I've either gone out of my way to get something I know is going to be naff, or we just genuinely have been unlucky.
Yeah.
I think we reviewed... Oh, no, actually, there was the time we reviewed the little gin and tonic mixed drink with me, you and your Owen around here.
That was delicious.
That was actually really... I think we rated it like an 8, but
yeah.
Then, like, I think the other ones are just all like 3s and 5s and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the difference with the gin is it tasted quite posh, whereas the other ones all tasted like something you would get at like a club.
Yeah, a really natty, horrible rundown nightclub. And
yeah,
I'm afraid the drink of today's choice probably isn't going to be super far off of that. It's the same line and same brand of drinks from a previous episode where it was the first one that included me, you, your Owen, and Imogen and Owen.
Yeah. And
that was when we reviewed the AU Vodka, which was the blue raspberry flavoured one. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cherryade flavoured one, as you can see here. So I'm assuming this is going to be the same sheer neon shade of the colour in question.
Luminous red.
Yeah, luminous red as compared to neon cyberpunk blue in the last one. So look, to be fair though, I will say I do actually really like the contrast of the colours on the can this time round. I think it looks really handsome. So I will actually, as basic as it is, I'll give the design of the can this time honestly like a 9. What do you think?
Can you remind me what colours the previous one was?
The colour on the previous one on the blue raspberry was literally just like sky blue against the same shade of gold, and that's literally it.
Yeah, I didn't like that so much. But tell you what, I kind of agree. I like that they've kept the whole thing pretty much, other than the bottom, obviously, the same gold. And I do like gold and red. And I like that there's not much on it. They've really kept it to a minimum.
Yeah, gold and red are sort of like very sort of mid-range kind of contrasts against each other, but they do look quite nice. I think like my favourite contrast for red is probably dark green, but
yeah,
no, they look quite nice.
I'm not a fan of the fact. I tell you what, I would give it like a 7.5.
Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to lower my score to like an 8.
Yeah. The only thing I'm not a big fan of actually is the name Cherryade. I don't like that. I don't like that they called it that. I thought they could be more inventive. The other one was blue raspberry. Cherryade isn't a flavour, it's a type of drink.
Oh yeah, that is kind of a good point, yeah, I suppose so.
I would have just called it something different.
Now, so this is a 5% alcohol volume drink. It's 330 millilitres. Do you want to guess how much this was from the local offie?
Oh, okay. And I actually cannot remember how much the other one was.
The other one was about like £2.53, I think.
Okay. Knowing AU Vodka, they've actually partnered with some pretty naff people recently. So I want to say that it wasn't that expensive.
It was £3.
Yeah. Do you know what? That is the place I would have put it at.
It's in the range of being like near enough the second highest priced cocktail can we've ever had on the show. Because all of the ones from like Moth are all $3.99. Like, they're really expensive.
And they're so strong.
They're super strong. The mojito one they do is like 10%.
It is ridiculous. That is the kind of thing you would drink if you want to get drunk very quickly on something that isn't like beer.
Mind you, the mojito one they do is actually quite nice. It's just an unfortunate case that the sour gin vermouth Negroni is just quite dreadful.
Yeah.
I think that was the first ever drink to get. Oh,
what?
Oh, that's not
great. Does it smell really bad?
Oh, that's not great.
Oh, I'm not often a fan of cherry anyway.
Ooh, I think is I like Cherryade. I got a 24 pack of sugar-free Cherryade on Amazon for like £7.
This is what I'm saying. Why would you call something Cherryade?
Well,
Maybe
no, I'm saying I like Cherryade, so I was expecting to
but
like this, but
are we sure that isn't? They haven't partnered with like Cherryade and just put vodka in it?
Cherryade's not a brand.
Is it not?
No, it's a type of drink. My Cherryade that I got is from bars. What are you on about?
I'm not sure. I feel like I'm confused.
It's not even Friday yet, man.
I'm thinking of like, you know how you get like Orangina
Right.
and how that's a brand and it's
Yeah.
just like fizzy orange juice. I'm thinking that Cherryade is the brand, but it's
Oh,
obviously not. It's the type
Right,
of
no,
drink.
yeah, it's just the type of drink similar to like cream soda or like
Yes, okay, that's
dandelion
what
and
I'm
burdock.
thinking.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pour some into the cup because I'm
I'm frightened.
I'm not sullying. Oh, that's.
That is horrific.
That's.
Oh my god, the camera does not even do it justice.
No, it's much darker in real life. It is. This looks foul. So.
I would say that's the color.
Oh.
That's the color of like
Oh.
when you scrape your knee. That's like fresh blood color.
Sniff of it in the can, and then I have a sniff of it in the cup. I'm only picking it in the cup.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
I'm putting it in a cup, by the way, because I'm not sullying one of my glasses with this guff.
Oh my god, it smells really awful.
What would you rate in the can? In the can, I will say it's more manageable than in the cup, because in the cup it's got obviously more room to breathe, but it's a much more pungent smell.
It smells so artificial.
Let me smell the can one more time. So you have looked really genuinely traumatized.
I really hate the smell of cherry. It reminds me of feeling like car sick.
You know what this reminds me of? This makes me think of like budget, non-brand cherry bakewell tarts that have been just stamped on.
Yes, it also makes me think of
just cheap moisture, glucose. Ugh.
Yeah, it makes me think of like the £1 cherry sweets you used to be able to get from the Happy Shopper.
Yeah. So I'll just put the can down there so we can still see it, and then spill some on my sock. So that's wonderful. Okay, so then now have a sniff of it in the cup, because I think it's worse in the cup.
Oh, it's so much worse in the
It's
cup.
awful, isn't it? I think in the can it's like getting on for being like a 3.5 for the nose. In the cup, I think it's probably getting on for like, honestly, like I think a 1.
Do you know what it kind of smells like and what it kind of looks like as well?
Yeah.
Is that they've just, you know how you get like vanilla extract, for example?
Yeah.
It feels like they've just put cherry extract, really artificial cherry extract, just a flavouring, and then some red food colouring, and that's all they've done. There's no...
Yeah, it sort of feels like they've taken like the most low grade vanilla extracts and mixed it with like really cheap like tinned cherry juice, and then just kind of sort of like mixed it together in a superheated way, and then just kind of just dumped it in a can and put in some carbonated water. It really truly smells quite awful. I think
it feels confirmed for me given the lack of information about what's in the drink.
I did try to look up some information about this stuff, and it's frustratingly light on sort of context, so that's not great. But I'm gonna rate some nose in the can a 3.5 out of 10, and then the nose in the cup a 1. What do you think?
I think I might second you. I reckon, but a 3.5 might even be a push for me. I really hate the smell of artificial cherries. Maybe a 3 and a 1.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
A 0 feels harsh.
Yeah, I think there is a distinct smell, and it's not like completely repulsive. So anyway, let's have a quick palate cleanser first to cleanse our palate. And then on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So to you and everyone else at home, bottoms up, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend ahead.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Whew. No, it could be worse.
I hate that.
It could be worse though. It's a bit acidy. Ooh, it is very artificial, yeah.
You know what I think the difference is, and I know I keep comparing, but it is the same brand, is that with the blue raspberry one, you really could not taste the alcohol at all. It was honestly, I literally couldn't even tell I was drinking alcohol. With this, I can really taste the vodka, and the cherry is like a subtle, horrible aftertaste.
See, I can't taste any of the vodka, and the cherry taste just kind of overpowers everything. That's the really only characteristic of the flavour, is this horrible, like, when you go to really dodgy candy shop in like a run downtown that's part of like an off license, and like they have those really weird off-brand cherry straws, kind of tastes like that, and then just a lot of fizz.
That's true. The more I drink, the more cherry I can taste.
The thing is, obviously it's good that we can't taste too much of the overpowering vodka, but then again,
what's the point in the drink, I suppose?
Yeah, what's the point in the drink? Plus the flavour that is there isn't very nice, and it is fundamentally imbalanced. That's the thing. So I'm going to give this I just feel like I'm sort of like getting close to having diabetes with every sip. So I think like, honestly, I'm going to give it a 2. I think that's the number that my mind keeps coming to, is a 2.
Yeah, I think I would be lying if I said it's any more than a 2. When I'm thinking about rating drinks, as I'm not a very big drinker, I think, would I drink this in a club? No. And the bar is low for things
even if
someone would drink in a club.
If it's free, even then, I think it would still be a bit of a struggle.
So imagine being really drunk and just having this taste in your mouth and feeling a bit sick. Oh my freaking god!
And that's the one that then just tips you over the edge into
it would be
throwing up into the bins outside McDonald's and then going to get a takeaway kebab.
Yeah, this would be exactly what tips you over the edge. Let's be honest.
Yeah, God, it really would be after you've done like 10 Sambuca shots and like 5 Guinnesses and 5 different lagers. That is really awful. The first one we did, which I think was a Negroni. Was it a Negroni? So the first one I did with you and your Owen was, it was like an orange fizz Negroni, yeah.
That's my least favourite drink ever. I think I would still prefer that to this. At least it's a bit more posh.
Yeah. I think, that roundabout sums it up in a way. It kind of does just feel like a drink that's kind of trying to take on a concept in a sort of classy, swish, fashionable way, but ultimately it just doesn't really meet that mark. It doesn't even meet the same mark as the blue raspberry one, because I think we roundabout gave that a roughly like a 4 or a 5.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
It was serviceable, but this is genuinely awful. I could not recommend this under really most circumstances. Even then, the only circumstance I can think of is if you want to get absolutely smashed and just tip yourself over the edge at the last minute of a night of debauchery. So that's ultimately...
This is a good thing to drink if you're young and just starting drinking.
I think that kind of roundabout sums it up. So do you have any other closing thoughts?
No. Closing thoughts are, I would never, ever buy that, ever.
Okay, I think that roundabout sums it up. And it's also way too expensive. So, take that as you will. So, if you like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you want to check out my other social medias, I'll leave those in the video description down below. And as well, obviously, be sure to leave any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar in the comments section down below, as well as any other video formats you think I should do. But, as always, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And until next time, have fun, stay safe for whatever you're doing, don't do anything we wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits, and we'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
So apologies to Alice, but I did forget to film this bit with you while you were here having dinner earlier, so that's my bad. But the episode with Luca was subject to a competition at work where I got my colleagues to guess on who the guest episode host would be in that episode, and the colleague of mine who guessed correctly that it would be Luca was my other colleague Ellie. And Ellie's question of the day for this episode was, when you started Ted's Booze Cellar, was your desire to start Ted's Booze Cellar from either a specific drink or just a very general sense and want to spread your knowledge and your interests and views on alcohol? And it really was the latter more than anything. I think if there was a drink that did obviously start it off, I think you really would just simply have to go back to the first ever drink I reviewed, which was the blonde Belgian ale Vedette, which they used to sell at the Farmer House Students' Union bar, which they don't anymore. In fact, they stopped selling it pretty soon after I started working there. I think it was just generally more so a sense of I just wanted to share my views and interests in alcohol about all sorts of alcohol with the rest of the world, and also kind of maybe use it as a portal and a jumping pad for me to try other kinds of alcohols as well.